The process of understanding is very simple. The process is, as I explained last time, I explained more in detail. We are created out of the rays within the center of the universe. In interaction and reduction in strength and division by the strength in certain strength fields, in collection of the totality of the expansion of the universe, some energies, some dynamic fields have come together. Over billions of years, these fields lead to the creation of what we call the sun. Where the plasma gathers together. The same process repeats again because the sun is the same as the energy center of the universe. Now the heavy the same thing again. Radiates fields out, and in interaction with the itself, with the fields of itself, leads to creation of planet. In that process of the creation of planet, the same process happens again. In the interaction of the fields of the earth with its environment and cooling and exchange with the strength of the other things in the environment of the space of the solar system leads to creation of man, cell, matter state. And that itself, in coming together and slowing down in certain ways, as we call, leads to another sun. We call the soul of the man. This is the truth about the life and creation of the man. But if the soul of the man can understand and absorb and be correct with his conduct, he can become the strength of the fields and carry the strength of the field of the planet which came to this creation. And if the soul can understand with the same process, can interact, can be correct, can absorb with itself the totality of the strength of what it needs, it shall become the sun. And then the same soul has the energy that it can absorb within the solar system, within the galaxy, shall become the center of the universe. Earth, we call it the rain, come from and goes back to. Solar system, we call it planetary system. We come from the rays, we become the planet, and we go back to the mother. The same thing happens with the galaxies, with the solar systems, which they get absorbed back in and they chewed up back into the universe. The life, the process of existence in the universe is the same. It doesn't matter on what exchange and what extent. So, what is the man fighting for? Why do we fight for something which has come from the point of the creation, and in the process it goes back to the creation? The soul of the man, as the energy of the earth, gives the face of the man, the face of the earth, and that process is the same for the soul of the man. Our soul, in reduction in strength, in interaction with the emotion of the field of the environment, leads to manifestation of the existence of the man. But once it's completed, does it need the face? Or can it be and becomes free from it, what we call the soul of the man, to be free and detached from its existence? Our soul is part of the process of the creation. The key to one question for man shall be in the future to be answered. As we saw the sun became the earth, and as we saw the earth became man's soul, what will be the destiny of the soul of the man now becomes free at the point of departure from physicality. Would it become the sun for creation of another life, or many lives, or correction of lives? This shall be, and this is how it happens. When you create a soul which is not correct, which is misconduct by itself cannot give, you lead to the creation of this next cycle of creation, which has started the wrong way, the wrong strength. This is one thing the man has never understood. You become the creator of another universe, another cycle. And this is what you have to judge within the structure of the soul of the man. What would I like that cycle to be? In the physical life, we create children. In the dimension of the life of the soul of the man, what that soul will create. If man has thought up to now, that's it, my end, my point, when I die is finished, there's as much fallacy that when the sun is destroyed in any shape or form, there shall be nothing left. But we know the part of the sun becomes part of the galaxy and becomes part of new life. So shall be the soul of the man. The judgment of the man has to be according to what he sees the future his soul can conduct to be. The day of judgment is for the man, not in front of the Creator. That what my soul judges to be and what shall create. Man never understood and shall never understand till can solve this dilemma within itself. The reality is very, very, very real. And that is, as we've seen, the energy of the galaxy become the sun, the energy of the sun has become the earth, and the energy of the earth has become the soul of the man. so shall be the soul of the man, which is the energy itself, another cycle of life. How can you change when you don't understand? How can you change the process of understanding if you do not understand the process of the creation? Do we need to extend the understanding of the man that what is the future he brings? We care about our children, what education they get, what they wear, how happy they'll be, where they sleep. Now the man has to be careful and consider, what life shall my soul create? Because those are the children of your soul. As we see, the rays of the sun has become a planet and 7 billion children of it. 7 billion unlimited, which is growing. So the soul of the man will go through the same process. How many billions and subdivisions and sub-matter state of the physicality of the man your soul shall create? Would it be the soul of wars and conflict and forever killing? Or would it be the soul of this, let's say, solar system, which is peaceful? This is the truth and the reality about the soul of the man. First of all, as I said many times recently, we never understood that the soul of the man is within the structure of the man. And now that we understood, we understand on departure from the physicality of the man, the same process will carry on as it did for a star, a planet. And the soul of the man becomes another energy source, a higher order, which itself leads to the creation. It becomes the star, it becomes the center of the new cycle of creation. This is what the human race has to understand. The cycle actually starts from the point of death and not finishes at the point of death. In so many ways, if one understands, is as the dusts, specks of dust came together to make the earth in the solar system, so has the specks of the atoms has come to be the creator of the man. And the essence of the creation of the specks of dust on the solar system has led to the creation of the man. So shall be the fields from the soul of the man which lead to creation of another cycle of life. What kind of life man would like to have to be created by his soul? This is the day of judgment. This is what man never understood. Now you have to understand. You have no choice. Up to today you were not aware of it. From today you are aware of it. You are responsible for it. Your conduct has to be to elevate your soul. That in elevating the soul, what you become the creator of stands correct in the conduct of the citizens. We don't give fairy tale. This is the truth. But as you've seen, the process does not stop with one sun. The cycle carries on. It's very interesting in how humanity now knows in fact to handle the fact. It'll take decades for man to understand, and then you understand those who become the tools of war, the tools of conflict. They have nothing to start with. They have to become the dust in the solar system of the others till the day they learn more, as they cannot create a new cycle through their own soul. This is the elevation of the soul of the man. To be part of the creation of a beautiful life for the next cycle. When you don't have it, you have to become another cell in the body of the structure of the bigger, for you to be just there that you can done when you could have been the soul of the man. They say, do not create fear. I give you the point of love for creation. If you cared about your children on this planet to have the best, your true children come out of your own soul in the coming time. How would you like to educate them? How would you like to be when you are in conflict with yourself and the cause of so much mayhem? This is the truth, and the man will take a long time to understand, as now that we understand the soul of the man is an operator for the creation of the future extent of the life of the man. Whatever is gathered by the soul at the end becomes his point of reference of his own creation of his own dimension. But the strangest thing is, what he creates from his soul shall become the creator of the other souls. This is the beauty about the creation, and one understands it, understands no limitation.
Witamy wszystkich na 149 publicznych warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy 22 kwietnia 2018 roku. Gospodarzami dzisiejszego spotkania jest Jarek, Kuba, Paweł, Przemek i Marcin. Nauczycielem jest wspaniały człowiek dr Keshe. Tematem dzisiejszego spotkania będzie tłumaczenie kosmicznego warsztatu blueprintu z dnia pierwszego w zasadzie. To było z dnia 14 kwietnia i będzie godzina tłumaczenia wspaniałego człowieka Giovanniego, doktora, który już jest od dość dawna w Fundacji Keshe i współpracuje z całą fundacją. Będzie to jakby dokumentacja całego leczenia swojej córki, gdzie ona uległa wypadkowi razem z mężem, gdzie jej mąż w zasadzie już nie żyje. To chyba każdy, kto słucha warsztatów, to wie o tym. Także uruchomimy film i przetłumaczone będzie. Pierwsza godzina chyba tam będzie trochę brakowało, ale to dokończymy następnym razem.
Okay, so I start with presentation. Okay, I share screen. Okay.
The sound is good, Giovanni.
Oh, thanks God, Keshe. Good evening, good morning. I don't know if so what's right to say.
I hope we hear you better now.
Oh,
That's good.
Go ahead, please. Okay, this is my case of my daughter. This is a car accident that was happened the 6th of July of 2016. This picture was took before 2 weeks before of happening. And for understand this kind of this work is for a gift for humanity. It's for all the daughter, and because when I was in that moment, there are I have basically two options. One is was work only with the soul, but because I study a lot about, and the other one was to use this technology. If I choose the first one, I know that other person in my situation we're not able to solve the problem like that that one that I have at that moment with what I knew, and so I choose the second. And with this idea, I wrote all. I take all the examination, and I found even the best explanation of in scientific way. First of all, I want to say thank you to Keshe for have saved my life or my daughter, because in other cases for the medicine there is nothing to do, because I will show you that the body was completely destroyed, completely, bones, brain, organs inside, and no more connection. So here it's written how it's possible not only to come back from the coma, but rebuild literally a new body. And so this is the first aid report from the hospital of Bari. This is the main problem that they found. It's important to say that here it is written, that we discover only later, that he was his brain was without oxygen for about 15-20 minutes. And this is report is correct, because I spoke with the first person that make the resuscitation technique, and when I arrived on a place of the accident, he found the body, the area of the mouth completely closed, and so she don't have the possibility to breathe. So this is more that is not written here. She was even have diabetes, pneumothorax, have a lot of fracture, about 20 fracture, was a lot of fracture in all parts of the body. And I divided here because the body was completely destroyed, and so I here prepare a section with each part of body with all the problems that she had. I don't read it all because this presentation, if I do completely, it's more of 3 hours. So I'll let you read with the stop of the images, and you can literally can read it and understand how was difficult the situation. And so here it's written all the problem only for the head. Here are the problem of thoracic area. So dorsal area, this is a part of the fracture that they have on spinal cords, and the limbs. I let a little bit the frame so you can read it and make the pause if you need to read it during the recording. This is the problem to the abdominal area, liver, spleen. It's a very if you read it, it's completely destroyed the body. Okay, I go on. This is very important to know because this is not a normal situation. This is extreme situation. I went into hospital and nobody gave to me 1% of survival of my daughter, and they prepare me to the psychologically that will die, and even they put in a room for the people that must die. So in fact, like 80% of that patient of that room died. This was the intervention of during the resuscitation. I need to say that the team of resuscitation was very good team of doctor, because to keep live a situation like this, it's a need very good doctor. And even all during the treatment, I did the treatment for the law of normal medicine, but the doctor said that even with all the medicine possible, there is no chance. For this reason, I moved in different ways. So, what I want to share with you, for this reason I took this picture, is what I did it what I did it in the particular for have this success with my daughter. When happened this, the first thing that happened is that we lose our consciousness. The consciousness is our magnetosphere. We have a field that is created between the interaction with the soul and the body, and this creates our field. When happen a problem like this, our field became like with the second images. We are literally absorbed from the field of that event, of the emotion of the person, in this case of my daughter, that stay in that situation. If happen this, you are not able to help your daughter, because your magnetic field, your energy became part of it, became like fuse of it. In fact, you can realize that you will start to feel the pain of for example, of your daughter, or the feeling in the same, and stay in the same state of her. So it's important to be detached with the emotion and to keep your attention on your magnetic field. This move your strength all compact, and you are able to make what you need in the second step. That is this one. When I found, I saw my daughter in a reanimation room, was possible for me to see the situation of her soul and her body. The situation is like the photo on the left, and there was the body, and there was the like 30 centimeters above the body is soul. And I understood that don't need too much time that the soul leave the body. Was very near. This can happen when there is a big, very big trauma that shake all the body, and so detach the soul, even if it's not an event of the destiny. So what's happened really? It's happened on the picture on the right. When the person is unhealthy, the soul, the body are together, and so the interaction of the two fields create a magnetosphere. When it starts to be detached, it's come this situation, that one of the picture of the left. So for repositioning the soul near the body, we need to push again the magnetosphere around the body and the soul. It's like that you make a circle that close the two parts, soul and body. How it's possible to do this? This is possible. First of all, you need to do before this, because when we start, for example, to move for a trip, we know the starter point and the final point. Here it's the same. Before happen this kind of thing, you need to find a connection with the soul of your daughter. So when, if happening something like that, you know which is the soul of your daughter and where is. And this helped me too much to match her. And in this way, when I don't describe all the from which part of the body, etc., etc. But what is important is that it's important to create like a shield, that is a magnetosphere, around his body and soul. So this keep her soul attached his body, and don't permit her to left. I did this for 2 weeks, because I know that the soul during the night, or during this kind of trauma, the first place that go when they leave the body is to go to the best familiar place, and is the house. And so during the night I saw the body of my daughter, seen, and so every time I keep her and brought in the body of the hospital, and continue to put every time this shield. And finally, I have a contact with her and spoke with her about, and I asked to her if she won't survive or no. She said that was not able to survive, was not able to recover the body because it was all broken. And I told to her that was don't worry, I can help you to do this. And so I started to use all the possible knowledge, and with the help of Sir Keshe, I did it. So this in the first picture of the left show the process that I told to you. This is a work of the soul. In the ancient time, we have this kind in the middle, this kind of system of healing. This we can call ancient technology. This are why it's ancient technology, because you need to know that that kind of stone, it's particular stone, that it's granite stone, and it's possible magnetite that stone. The chemical structure of that kind of stone is so heavy that that time they used this kind of box for recovering the body, because the soul don't have, I can say that, find the correct environment so can interact good with the body. This is what I can say now. So if you understand this and the work of magnetosphere, you can understand the third image. You can understand how it's possible with this technology work on magnetosphere, and this magnetosphere can be able to change some condition in the body and even in the soul, and so to heal the person to find the best balance. So now we go to the part of the damage. The brain trauma has big consequence, a very big edema on inside inside the brain, with some point of blood too, and this was I was able to reduce with like that magnet that a friend gave to me, that was charged with frequency for against the edema, and I apply it for 30 minutes on each cerebral hemisphere, and this allowed to avoid to remove the part of the skull that was done in all the people of the hospital, and was the same material of that box, that Egyptian box that I say to you. This is a picture like 1 month and a half of Naomi, and this was really good in front of the picture that was after the crash accident. And now I show the video of the day before apply the painkiller mattress. Okay, if you look here, it's possible to see the normal rate. This is no less of 120 heartbeat to minutes. This was for July until this 24 September. This was the normal heartbeat of Naomi night and day, and this was the less because normally it was 140. Imagine how was stressed his heart for the pain. You can see here very well the number. So what I say to you, it's the pure truth. Okay, in this period, from the day of July until now, Naomi, she never sleeps, never. So if you read here, the pain increased the heart rate by 130 beats per minute, day and night, not even sleep for a moment. And I asked the doctor if what they think to do, because I know that it's a person that's running for 3 months. That was that heartbeat. After 3 months, the heart it's broken too. So I asked to them what is why they don't put the painkiller, no? And she said that for the damage that she had. The quantity of painkiller that need to do was so big that would kill her. And so if she can survive to in the same time or recovering and healing, she can survive. If not, she will die. And I told them, but she is in pieces. It's impossible that she can heal all the body, and in this way, you need 1 year, 2 years. It's impossible. She sure died, and they don't answer anymore to me because that one was the answer. So I asked Keshe what is possible to do in this case, and he advised to me to prepare some painkiller mattress, and that I put in the zone that was more painful for her. If you look, this is this zone is the hip, and you can see here there is a bigger fracture here, another bigger fracture here. So this means that the hip slide in 2 parts. It's not fixed. There is no part of the hip that was complete, and so constantly they move all the time. So I prepare this 2 mattress, one put above, and the other one I put behind. And here you can see the difference. This was the day before, before of the application of painkiller, and this was after. If you look, you can see I apply only for 16 minutes, and this was enough to change completely his face, his position of the hand, and he start to sleep immediately. So this was an amazing result, and there is no words for describe the feeling when you see your daughter that for a month don't sleep for the pain, and you see to sleep so well and in peace. It's there is no word for explain this. Here, this is another picture, and if I make bigger that picture, you can see that the rate of the heartbeat became to drop immediately to 80 beats per minute. This photo was taken after 3 days of application of painkiller. You can see completely the face, the arms, the position of the body. It's completely different. This is the position of the mattress, how I did it, and this is the interaction of the field. So basically, what happened if you think in basic way, the pain, what is an electricity that go in the nerves, and this electricity and all electricity is charged, even that one that it's a few millivolts, have electromagnetic field. So if we interact with the electromagnetic field of the current that flow in the nerves, we can be able to regulate it, to have a regulation of the quantity of electricity that flow in the nerve. And this permits to change the field and to this device to become a painkiller. And in this case, what is interesting that when the brain don't receive so much information of the pain and so much in electricity, it starts to healing the body, because it's more free to work and to repair it. So it's very important, this point. This is another video of October after the painkiller and after I use the helmet. I put off the audio. Okay, you've seen here it's a start to move the eyes, something that she didn't before, because the look of the eyes was completely loose in the void, and to interact to the with the environment, even if she don't move at all the body. And what is interesting is that, as you can see, the repair of the body, it starts to be so well that they put on wheelchair that before was impossible to do. So now I need to explain how it's possible and what I did it, for what reason, in scientific way, I did it, that kind of guns. First of all, I want to say that the first part that is important to do when you prepare the guns, you put your divine soul inside. And there is an ancient knowledge in all the world. The shaman, they use this term, intento. But we can, if I want to translate this idea, it's like that you put all your intention to heal and the substance that you want to do, and you are concentrating in this thought during all the preparation. It's like that you put not only the guns inside, but your heart inside, your mind inside. And this is very important, because I can explain this even with the magnetic field. It's the same process of before. It's possible to create like an interaction between the part of creation of the guns and you. It's like that it became an extension of your magnetic field and your desire and want you want to do. And this will happen. So this is very important. And for example, when I did the guns, I was always alone. I was only concentrate on that. And my thought was always to heal my daughter. Now, this what I put inside the blanket that was normal in flat table matters, and I put this 75% of liquid plasma, 25 of GANs, and these are the percentage of liquid plasma, and these are each milliliter, so you can understand easy how to reproduce this. I want to say that all these are exactly what I did it to my daughter. I don't change nothing, and I take note in real time on my book, on all what I did, either the variation, what I used, when, and all the details. So you even don't need to call me. These are teaching that are in foundation, that you find in foundation. So please come in foundation to study this kind of technology, because can do a very big difference for you. This means that you save the life of the person that you love. It's not a joke, this one. So if you study this technology, you can really do great things. Now, this is the situation of the brain of Naomi. And the left part you see the brain of healthy person. In the right part, it's magnetic resonance of Naomi. When the doctor said that for every idea of the brain of Naomi, I need to think that it's like that I put the brain of my daughter, she said exactly this word, in a shaker, switch on for 10 minutes, and after switch off. And this is what's remain of the brain. If you look at the magnetic resonance, he was right, because if you look, for example, all this area, it's completely melting. There is no connection anymore. There is no, look here how is the disposition, even of the color of the mass, the gray matter, the white matter, callosum body and so on, no? It's all melting. There is nothing of the brain here. So it's something that was not possible repair for the science. So I share with you this picture because in this way you can understand really the situation. And I want to tell you this too. I have all the analysis, all the picture, all the details of this. So I can show all the proof of this. So now the solution for the brain damage was two kinds of solution. One was the plasma solution, and an helmet drink liquid plasma, and the other one was like a matter solution. The matter solution was that I gave to her omega-3, folic acid, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Here you find all the dosage that I gave to my daughter, so you can take note of this. And this one really worked very well. I won't say to you that it's very important that the calcium, magnesium, and zinc need to mix in equal part all together and give to the patient, because this need to be combined together when go inside the body. It's not the same effect if you take one separate from the other one. This is important. And here you find all the dosage. Okay. Here it's describe all the why we need to give this kind of substance to the matter state, and the reason, and so you can understand that each one is important, because what you need to know is that the brain is created from the skull, and so with these elements together, we create a separation of the bones of the skull that became brain. After we grow these cells, divide this cell, and they start to grow up a new brain. But we need to make this, even the plasma, it's no only this that can give to us the solution. We need to create the field of these two. This can help to make faster the process. And now I explain how. Yeah, okay. So I prepare this helmet, and the job of this helmet is to recreate the field of the brain around the head, around the brain. So I prepare the guns for it. The problem was which strength of the field I need to match. So I make a calculation of the brain, the weight of the brain of Naomi. So if his weight is 50 kilos, the 2% usually is the weight of the brain. And so 1,000 milliliter is the brain of Naomi. The brain is constitution of 70% of water, and the rest it's more dense, like matter state. And so this is the more dense state. And if after I choose the difference, after I calculate the difference of white brain matter, that are the axon, and grain brain matter that you can read here. And so in this way I create the guns of CO2 for the connection, and the guns of zinc oxide for the brain nerve. So what the patches that I did it was exactly a copy of the brain of Naomi that I put in the helmet. And this kind of calculation, I did it for the muscle, for the bones, for everything that I did for Naomi. All was calculated for each part of her body. This is important because that time I need to match exactly the same condition of her original brain. So this for make a better job, I create different parts for each section of the brain. So frontal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital, and so on. Parietal, and this is the picture. If you look, it's a very nice color of the guns because the life comes from the water, and if you see here the color of the water, it's like that one of the ocean. These are the pillow and the milliliter that I used from each part of the brain that I put inside the helmet. This is how is composed each pillow, what I put inside. This is frontal lobe. After I explain you why, I put here the pH, millivolts, and so on. It's important, this is very important. It's important that the field is complete to the helmet. I did it, here it's not written, but I did it some small pillow of 1 centimeter because between the two conjunction of the pillow, there was a little space. For cover that little space, I create a complete field to the brain. I did it, these small pillows that I put inside. This was the helmet application. I start with a progressive work. This was the time I use it. I go forward because after you can see. These are the effects that I had from the application. This sleep, deep sleep, heart rate dropped, muscular deconstruction, and the rest. With this, we can explain more that words. This is the picture of Naomi before, and this was after the application of the helmet. If you look, there is look the eyes, and you understand all. Even the mouth was always closed. It's in the picture of the right, you can see that they start to be present. In the picture of the left, you can see clearly that it's lost. This is how the answer of the body after the helmet. Look, the position of the hand and the face, how is close to the breast. This is a protection that the people use when are in coma, because they need to defend themselves from something that can happen from the external part, and so, or for the trauma that they receive. So when they find a better, comfortable situation because it's changed their position, you find a different position of the body. And if you look, this is completely relaxed. She left his arm go down. She moved the head behind. It's completely changed, and only in few hours. Few hours. This was the first prototype of helmet that I used in conjunction even with the mattress. But after I perfected this one, because the frontal lobe was not complete. I noticed that the field on the frontal lobe was not covered, so I prepared another pillow for cover exactly all the brain. If you look here and you take a picture of the brain, you look that the brain finished above, near above the ear. So, after 9 months, we start with this situation, this melting brain, and this was the brain in magnetic resonance of Naomi of 24 of April. Last 9 months, the brain changed completely. And I show to you now a comparison between the healthy brain and this one of Naomi. So with these things, in 9 months, the brain was completely healed. It's literally a new brain, this one. Now, for have this result, I studied the best option and the reason for make the best guns possible. I don't was lucky to have this result. I studied because the position that time was, if I make wrong only a little detail, I know very well that my daughter will die. So I studied the best guns possible for help that can help my daughter, and even the checking system for to know that that was good guns. So I recreated the same condition of the first human brain that was created. I consider this important things like element, temperature, electricity, and rhythm. I don't have too much time, so what I show the slide and say fast. Basically, on studies of René Quinton that is mentioned here, the first being that was created in the water, and the body, the human body, keep the same salinity of the first body that was created that time. So that time the water of the sea was 80%, and the human body put inside the sea and keep it the same condition of the time that was generated. This is basically the information. So even happen for the temperature. When the human body have the fever is because it's a system of defense of the body for accelerate the vitality of the cells, because it's more near to the origin cells. There was created about 44 degrees Celsius. There are all the studies. I studied this. You can trust me, or you can check. But I verify all this. Electricity. This is important to know, because we know that the brain work between the 7 have a range of work between 0.1 to 32 hertz, and I have a look at the Schumann resonance. You can read here, but I cut all of this, and basically when this brain was done, there was the lighting in the sea, and this lighting in the sea during this phase that lighting fall in the sea was created a resonance that a ionization phenomenon that generate various electromagnetic frequency from 7 to 45 hertz. This means that when we prepare the gas, we need to put variable high power steams, and I did it. So now you can understand the relation between the waves of the brain and the ionization of atmosphere. And this is important. This is connected even with the magnetic field of the brain. In fact, the hippocampus, a special area of the brain, work with the same hertz of the heart. And this is the problem that the people that go with the, for example, normal starship in the space have the problem to the brain and destroy the brain and need to recover in the brain, because we live here with this kind of frequency of the heart. When we go far, change the frequency, and so the brain is start not function anymore and start to be sick. And so it's important to consider even this aspect. The rhythm. I noticed that that with the solar there are literally tides when there is the solar magnetism. And so there is a process that happens inside the body that create ions of hydrogen. And this is well explaining even after. I try to read all, but I try to stay in 1 hour, but I know that's basically impossible to do. So I found some study of this Dr. Sander, that explain about the tides of hydrogen. Why I need this? Because this is the rhythm that I need to produce when I do the guns. No? So this means that the electricity must not be the same all the time, but I need a rhythm to use, and this is the hour of the rhythm. This is very interesting because this comes from the study of agriculture for the interaction and how the plant use the amino acid and the connection between the amino acid and the energy inside the body. And here it's well explained how decay the nitrogen and became carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. And it's very interesting because this explains how it's possible that from outside it's possible to create matter inside. And basically, if we think, and after I will explain to you, that what happened outside with the plant happen inside of us, because you need to know that even the brain have a lot of nitrogen. In fact, if you open the skull, there is a very bad smell because for the nitrogen. And so when we have a special condition that this nitrogen, with special process of magnetic field, became amino acid. The amino acid then became carbon, and this carbon is combined with the hydrogen that was inside. We have the CH3. And when we have the CH3, we have the sugar and we have energy in the blood, in the body, that we can use in the field. So Now, how is possible to have the field, to have this process? This is explained with quantum mechanics. This is I found that this study of Leibov, that is a Russian scientist, and he did it very good work with the rule of geomagnetic fields in cell regulation. And basically, what's happened, that he said that the magnetic field interact with the ions of elements, and create a new condition of the cells. And one of the, you can read it, all the explanation, but it's important that what I have explained to you now, you put all together this frame for have a idea and complete understanding, because this is important, because it's the scientific explanation why this technology works. This is a scientific explanation. Nobody can say nothing, because these are studies that are was checked. So I only put together all the information, and because my intention was do a scientific publication of this, but really I have no time to do it. And so I show to you here. So, for what I said to you before, what's happened, that in a large fraction of the body, calcium is found in extracellular space. So this calcium, in combination with the magnetic field, have a reaction with the water, and this reaction create hydrogen inside the body, free hydrogen. And now you can understand how it's possible that the hydrogen go in combination with the carbon, and we have the field of CH3. And so we have the energy. This is only an explanation of this, but there is also for the oxygen and for all the rest. But what is interesting is that if you read it, all this frame, no, that I showed before, here you can find that Earth's field ratio, the effect was to build new neurons and new neurites with this condition. So we have the scientific explanation why it's possible with the helmet set up new neurons and new axon. And nobody can say nothing about it, because it's written on the book. And this book are accepted for the official science. So
no już mamy koniec tłumaczenia, niestety, ale pewnie każdy jest ciekawy, co będzie dalej. Także...
No, tutaj Jarku, jeżeli mógłbym tylko wtrącić, sorki, że Ci przerwę, ponieważ ze specyficznych i bardzo ważnych przyczyn chcemy zachować tłumaczenie tego w całości czyste, bez żadnych komentarzy, ponieważ po drugiej części będziemy referować do tego, do określonych części tego, więc żeby po prostu tego nie rozbijać, ponieważ tutaj jest opisany cały spaceship i panel sterowania. Więc moi drodzy, jeżeli możemy, to prosiłbym, żeby dla utrzymania czystości dalszych rozwinięć tego zakończyli spotkanie właśnie teraz, a później referowali do określonych czasach, w których coś zostało powiedziane, co może nas naprowadzić na kolejne rozwiązania. Dobrze?
Oczywiście, że tak.
Fajnie, to ja dziękuję z mojej strony.
Także ja również dziękuję wszystkim. To były 149 warsztaty publiczne poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Także spotykamy się już w czwartek. Także dziękuję wszystkim i do usłyszenia.